DJ Lantz here, and we're at True Spec Scottsdale, Arizona. Really excited to hit the new Cobra Radspeed drivers, just revealed today. I'm here with senior equipment editor Andrew Tursky from golf.com. Tursky, what's rad mean and what are we looking to do today?
They're rad, man. They're cool.
They're super cool. The colors are awesome.
But seriously, rad stands for radius. And basically what Cobra was trying to do is extend these weights out, extend the radius out from the center of gravity, try to boost that MOI, boost performance, boost forgiveness, and some speed too. We have 3 different models, so we're going to get into it and see what each does and how it performs comparative to each other. We got the Radspeed, the Rad XB, which is going to be a little bit higher launching, a little bit higher spinning for those higher handicaps. Then you got the Rad XD, which is D for draw. We got club connects on each of the club heads, so we can easily change out the same shaft for each head. So we're just going to hit the same shaft each head and see what each of them does. All right, so first up, we've got Radspeed. This one here is the most tour-inspired look, which I'm going to gravitate towards just because cosmetics is a big thing for me with drivers. And right away, I really like the matte finish. This matte finish looks clean, it looks fast, the colorway looks fun. Now this is the driver you'd expect that Ricky, Bryce, and Lexi would play. And what we're looking for really is kind of a lower trajectory, maybe a little bit fade bias, should be a bit more workable. So we'll see if that holds up. Let's see. Initial thoughts? Definitely a little more fade bias than I was expecting. Okay. I didn't catch it great. Fade bias isn't necessarily a bad thing. Remember, this is the tour-inspired head. Guys don't want to see that hook. No. Now, what do you think about the infinity face? It's a little visually different than what I'm used to looking at. However, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. There is a lot of tech in that. Tell me a little bit about what's going on technology-wise. Yeah, a lot of tech. So basically they mill the entire face, and it's more of a cup face where it wraps around the entire face, extending that trampoline effect. And it takes 25 minutes to mill each of these faces. All right, so when I look at the sole of this driver, you can see that 28 grams of weight have been placed up top, like towards the face, and then you got 10 grams back. So what that's gonna do is give you that lower trajectory, lower ball flight, lower spin, which is really what high-speed players are looking for. Sure. Now, for ClubTest, what we were seeing from the players' reactions up at Silverleaf, some of them find it distracting, some of them like the alignment feature. It's kind of just personal bias there. Now that should have been a big hook, from what I felt at least, and it's kind of holding that line. I'd probably still miss the fairway left, honestly, but should get some good ball speed numbers here. Okay, next up, Rad XB. Right off the jump, I can tell this is going to be a little bit more forgiving just because that MOI is pushed back. We're looking at it in the gloss finish, so very different visually. How do you like the gloss compared to the matte? Personally, I prefer the matte. Okay. I'm not opposed to this. I think this hides that infinity face a little bit more. I don't see it as visually prominent. So let's see how it performs. That's a higher launch right there. Definitely higher launch. And one thing to note, as you mentioned early in the video, we're using Club Connect, so shaft didn't change, settings didn't change, all very consistent. So we're seeing exactly what this head does. But launch jump there for sure. Launch up, spin up, so it did exactly what it was supposed to do. Yep. For someone who misses the face quite frequently, I'd like to get some forgiveness from this, so we'll see what happens. Definitely higher, and see it's turning a little bit. Definitely a little more drop. Not as fade biased as the other driver, but we're still getting some pretty good distance and nice height. 315 on a rope. Come on, Tursky. Yeah, for someone who needs extra height, this is perfect. Perfect. So mission accomplished. XD time. Last up, Rad XD. Very visually similar to the XB, but we know there's a lot more weight in the heel on this one. Does it look shut? No, I wouldn't say it looks shut at all. Most draw bias drivers do have that shut look. This doesn't, so they're putting a lot of weight in that heel, hoping that this thing turns over. So. She's turning. She's turning. How'd that one feel? This one actually felt really good to me. Out of the 3, for me, this one felt the best. Why so? I just felt like it was easier to release, but not so much that it was gonna hook off the planet. Felt really solid. I'm actually most surprised by this one. As you can see in the sole, you got 10 grams of weight in the heel, so that's gonna give you that hook bias. Sure. And as a guy who overdraws myself, I can see this ball going super far left. So we'll see if it works. Yep. Yep, so it is draw bias. That makes a lot of sense. So if you have a really bad slice, this is like perfect. This is the model for you. If you tend to hit a draw, this might not be best. Yeah, that's not the one for you. But the other 2 look good. But there are plenty of models in the line that are for me, and that's why they're there. I love it. As you guys can see in the video, Cobra's Radspeed line has 3 different drivers for 3 different types of golfers. We got the Radspeed for the high speed guys. It's got the weight up front, keep that ball nice and low, a little bit fade bias, which I like. Then we got the Rad XB, which has weights all the way back. The heavier weights are in the back. So a little bit higher launch, a little bit more forgiveness. And then we got the driver that you liked, the Rad XD.
Surprisingly, I really like the Rad XD. This one here has a little bit more draw bias, so easy to turn over, but very forgiving. Not the most tour-inspired look. You can tell the weight's been pushed back. Higher MOI, but overall, really clean package.
Got everything for the range of golfers from tour players to high handicaps. Make sure you test them all.